Libra is not chosen by the Oversoul to be polite. Libra is chosen to confront a deeper instability, which is the fear that truth will fracture love if it is spoken clearly. The Libra tone enters life carrying an unusual sensitivity to relational atmosphere, sensing imbalance before anyone admits it exists. This sensitivity looks like grace from the outside, yet inside it can become a continuous negotiation with invisible pressure. The Oversoul does not send a soul into Libra to maintain harmony at any cost. It sends a soul into Libra to discover what harmony is when it is not purchased with self-abandonment. The first vector is mirroring, because Libra is the tone where identity is shaped through reflection in the eyes of another. Libra learns early that people are not only people, they are surfaces that reveal different versions of the self. One person makes Libra feel intelligent, another makes Libra feel unworthy. Another makes Libra feel magnetic. Another makes Libra feel invisible. The soul then begins to suspect that identity is not stable, because it changes depending on the room. A quiet objection emerges from this. If the self shifts with every reflection, does the self even exist apart from relationship? Libra tries to resolve that objection by becoming likable, because likability creates predictable responses, and predictable responses feel like safety. The personality refines tone, adjusts language, calibrates expression, and learns social intelligence that looks effortless. Yet the Oversoul watches the motive behind this skill, because calibration can be wisdom or it can be fear. When Libra calibrates from fear, it stops being present and starts being strategic. The relationship may feel smoother, but the soul feels less real inside it. That is the first fracture Libra must face without rushing to repair it. The second paragraph of this mirror teaching always attracts resistance, because people will say that empathy is good and that social intelligence is maturity. They are not wrong. But the Oversoul is not testing whether Libra can empathize. It is testing whether Libra can remain coherent while empathizing. If coherence dissolves whenever another person is disappointed, Libra becomes a hostage to mood. If truth must be edited to preserve approval, then approval becomes the ruler of the relationship. Libra then begins to confuse peace with avoidance, and avoidance with love. The tension remains because the soul still believes that honesty will cost it connection. So the Oversoul introduces a pattern that exposes the cost of smoothing. Libra finds itself in relationships where it can maintain surface harmony while slowly losing inner trust. It agrees too quickly, apologizes too early, offers compromises before anyone has earned them. The relationship seems stable from the outside, yet internally Libra grows tense and resentful. Resentment is not a flaw in this curriculum. It is a signal that the self has been left out of the negotiation. The Oversoul allows resentment to build just enough to force a more honest choice later. The second vector is justice, because Libra is the tone where the Oversoul tests fairness as an internal alignment rather than a social performance. Many people think Libra is about balance, but balance is not neutrality. Balance is accurate weight distribution, and accuracy requires judgment. Libra struggles here because judgment can look like conflict, and conflict can threaten belonging. Libra then tries to remain impartial, believing it is being virtuous, when in truth it is delaying a necessary decision. The Oversoul uses Libra to reveal that neutrality is often just fear-wearing ethical language. An unspoken objection rises here, and it is difficult to answer cleanly. If Libra chooses a side, does it become biased and unfair? If Libra asserts a boundary, does it become selfish? If Libra refuses to compromise, does it become cruel? Libra has seen how power can masquerade as righteousness, and it refuses to become that. Yet refusing to choose is still a choice, and it often benefits the loudest force in the room. The Oversoul presses this point by placing Libra near imbalance that cannot be corrected through softness. Libra then discovers that justice is not only about what is fair between people, it is also about what is fair within the self. If Libra continually sacrifices its needs to keep the peace, it is committing an internal injustice. If Libra demands harmony from others while hiding its real feelings, it is creating a false contract. The tone of Libra becomes heavier here, because the soul realizes it has been using beauty and manners as a way to avoid raw truth. The Oversoul does not shame Libra for this, but it also does not allow it to remain unconscious. Pressure increases through situations where the cost of silence becomes more painful than the cost of speaking. The third vector is beauty, but not beauty as decoration. Beauty as coherence made visible. Libra is linked to aesthetics because the soul can sense when form matches essence and when it does not. This ability can create art, style, elegant speech, and the capacity to make environments feel safe and pleasing. Yet beauty also becomes a hiding place when the soul uses it to cover disorder. Libra can create a perfect atmosphere while its inner world is unsettled. The Oversoul forces the soul to see that beauty without truth becomes a mask, and masks eventually suffocate the wearer. Another objection emerges from the listener and from Libra itself. If beauty can be a mask, should Libra abandon beauty and become blunt? If harmony can be avoidance, should Libra embrace conflict and become harsh? Those reactions feel like solutions, but they are reversals, not integrations. The Oversoul is not asking Libra to choose between elegance and honesty. It is asking Libra to fuse them into a single clean signal. That fusion is not yet available early in the path, which is why Libra must pass through tension instead of receiving reassurance. At this point, Libra begins to notice a pattern in its own mind, the constant weighing that never ends. Libra evaluates tone, meaning, impact, fairness, timing, perception, and consequence, often all at once. People call this indecision, but the deeper issue is not lack of courage. The deeper issue is that Libra is trying to guarantee a clean outcome before it acts. The Oversoul never offers clean outcomes, only clean motives. When Libra tries to guarantee reception, it becomes trapped in endless calculation. This is where the path becomes exhausting, because the mind is carrying what the heart refuses to risk. The Oversoul then introduces relational dilemmas that cannot be solved through thought alone. Two people both make sense. Two choices both carry loss. Two truths both deserve respect. Libra wants a perfect decision that harms no one, but life refuses to provide it. This is not punishment, it is training. Libra must learn that fairness does not mean no one is hurt. It means the soul acts from integrity rather than from fear. Integrity here is not rigid morality, it is coherence between inner truth and outer action. The discomfort persists because Libra still wants to be seen as good, not merely to be true. The mirror vector returns with greater intensity, because Libra begins to realize that its relationships have been shaping it more than it has shaped itself. When Libra is unanchored, it becomes relationally porous, absorbing desires, values, and moods without noticing. It can become the perfect partner for someone else while losing its own direction. The Oversoul exposes this by letting Libra succeed socially, while feeling internally hollow. Hollow success is one of the most painful teachers, because it proves the personality can win while the soul feels absent. Libra then confronts the question it avoided earlier. What does it want when no one is asking it to be anything? An objection arises that sounds like responsibility. If Libra focuses on its own desire, will it neglect others? If Libra stops adapting, will it become unloving? If Libra asserts itself, will it lose its relationships? Libra often believes love equals accommodation, and it has evidence for that belief from earlier life. The Oversoul does not erase that evidence. It reframes it by showing that accommodation without truth is not love. It is management. Real love can survive reality. If a relationship requires constant editing of the self, the relationship is not held by love, it is held by fear. This teaching does not stabilize yet, because Libra must now face the price of speaking. When Libra becomes honest, it can trigger conflict it has avoided for years. People may accuse it of changing, becoming cold, becoming selfish, becoming unfair. Libra will feel the urge to explain, to justify, to restore comfort by over-clarifying. The Oversoul instructs through consequence instead. Each time Libra abandons itself to manage perception, it loses inner trust again. Each time Libra remains steady without defending, it gains inner authority. The soul starts to sense that clarity does not need permission, but it also sees how lonely clarity can feel. Justice deepens again, not as fairness between people, but as boundary. A boundary is a line that tells the truth about where responsibility ends. Libra fears boundaries because boundaries create edges, and edges can create disappointment. Yet without boundaries, Libra becomes a container for everyone else and a stranger to itself. The Oversoul uses boundary pain to educate motive. A boundary set from resentment becomes sharp and punitive. A boundary set from coherence becomes calm and clean. Libra must learn the difference, because calm boundaries preserve love better than explosive ones. The tension stays because Libra still equates calm with agreement. Beauty returns again as the test of coherence. Libra discovers that the most beautiful relationships are not the most conflict-free, they are the most honest. Beauty becomes a byproduct of alignment rather than an aesthetic goal. This threatens the old Libra strategy of creating harmony through smoothing, because smoothing was a form of control. Honest beauty cannot be controlled, it must be lived. The Oversoul pushes Libra to let the relationship look imperfect, while it becomes more true. That shift is difficult because Libra has invested identity in appearing balanced. The soul now must learn that appearing balanced is not the same as being balanced. A strong internal countervoice rises here, especially in socially attuned Libras. If the soul stops managing atmosphere, the atmosphere might become hostile. If it stops soothing, others might become angry. If it stops mediating, relationships might collapse. This countervoice is partly correct because some relationships were only stable because Libra was doing all the stabilization. The Oversoul allows those collapses because they reveal reality. A bond held together by one person's self-erasure is not a bond, it is a burden. Libra must learn to release burdens without turning release into cruelty. Now the core insight begins to approach the surface, but it is not yet allowed to settle. Libra is not here to be balanced. Libra is here to become a balancing force, and a balancing force must be anchored. Anchoring requires a stable inner value system that does not change with every gaze. Libra must build inner gravity, not just social grace. Inner gravity is what allows the soul to remain kind without being manipulable. It is what allows the soul to negotiate without selling itself. Yet the building of gravity is slow, and the Oversoul keeps the process incomplete because the incompleteness drives growth. This is why Libra often experiences a phase of disillusionment with people-pleasing. The soul sees how often it has performed harmony to avoid rejection. It notices how many yes responses were actually fear. It begins to recognize how much of its identity was constructed as a reflection of what others wanted. This recognition does not feel empowering at first. It feels destabilizing. The old self was predictable. The emerging self feels uncertain. The Oversoul prefers that uncertainty because it is closer to truth than a polished mask. The mirror vector transforms here into a new skill: selective reflection. Libra learns it does not need to reflect everything. It can choose which relationships act as mirrors and which do not. It can choose who deserves access to its inner world. This choice creates a new kind of balance through discernment rather than balance through accommodation. Yet this discernment feels risky because it invites judgment from others. Libra must tolerate being misread as cold when it is simply being coherent. The discomfort persists because Libra still wants to be understood by everyone it interacts with. Justice becomes less external and more internal as Libra begins to ask a sharp question. What is fair to me? This question can feel selfish to the untrained Libra, but the Oversoul insists on it. A soul that cannot include itself in the fairness equation will never create true fairness, because it will always distort the negotiation. Libra must learn that self-inclusion is not self-obsession. It is accuracy. When Libra includes itself, its compromises become real rather than resentful. When it does not, its kindness becomes a transaction. The narrative still refuses closure because Libra is only beginning to accept that accuracy can be more loving than comfort. Beauty then becomes a final pressure point in this first movement. Libra must learn that beauty is not the absence of rough edges. It is the presence of truth moving cleanly through form. That means Libra must speak hard truths with grace, and it must withstand others speaking hard truths back. Mutual truth is the real harmony. Yet mutual truth cannot be guaranteed, which means Libra cannot make its peace dependent on others choosing honesty. This is where the tone becomes truly challenging. Libra must become a stable center that can offer balance even when others refuse it. That stability is not yet complete, and it should not be, because the Oversoul is still training the soul to hold relational equilibrium without becoming a slave to relational outcome. So Libra ends this movement still unresolved, still under pressure, still learning to separate kindness from appeasement, fairness from neutrality, beauty from masking. The soul is beginning to sense that harmony purchased through silence is not harmony, it is deferred conflict. Yet it has not fully integrated how to speak truth without triggering its own fear of abandonment. The Oversoul keeps that fear active just long enough to force the next evolution, because the Libra tone does not mature by thinking about balance. It matures by risking the very thing it has been preserving, discovering whether love can survive truth, and discovering whether the self can survive being seen clearly when it stops trying to be everyone's mirror. Libra enters its second movement when the soul realizes that truth alone does not guarantee harmony. In the first phase, Libra learns that appeasement is a mask, that neutrality can be fear, that beauty can hide disorder, that self-inclusion is accuracy. That understanding can feel coherent, even liberating, because it suggests a clean path forward. Be honest, set boundaries, stop people-pleasing, become anchored. The Oversoul then invalidates the comfort hidden inside that path by revealing a harsher reality. Many relationships do not become more loving when you become more true. Some become more hostile. Some become colder. Some reveal that what you called connection was actually a contract built on your silence. This is the first destabilization. Libra wants to believe that clarity is always rewarded, that integrity always purifies the bond, that speaking truth will sort real love from false love with clean simplicity. The Oversoul does not allow that narrative to stabilize. It shows Libra that truth can trigger punishment, not because truth is wrong, but because other people are invested in the version of you that made them comfortable. The soul then faces a brutal question it was avoiding beneath its philosophy of balance. If love depends on my self-editing, was it love at all? And if it was not love, why did it feel like survival? The mirror vector returns here as a deeper problem than identity fluidity. Earlier, Libra saw that it changes in different rooms. Now it sees that it may have trained others to expect that change. It has been teaching people that they can access a version of it that agrees, softens, apologizes, and absorbs. When Libra stops offering that version, others may not adapt. They may accuse it of betrayal. They may call it selfish, unfair, dramatic, or cold. Libra will feel the urge to correct the misunderstanding, because Libra is trained to keep the atmosphere smooth. But this urge is the old trap. Explaining can become appeasement again, and appeasement can become self-erasure again, and self-erasure can become resentment again. The Oversoul forces Libra to sit inside being misread long enough to discover whether its inner anchor is real. A counter voice rises immediately. If I do not explain, I will be misunderstood. If I am misunderstood, I will be rejected. If I am rejected, I will be alone. This counter voice is not irrational, it is memory. Libra carries relational memory in its nervous system. It remembers the cost of conflict, the cost of disappointing others, the cost of being the one who disrupted peace. The Oversoul does not silence this memory. It uses it as the arena of refinement. The soul must learn to stay present while the fear screams, because only then can it distinguish current reality from old threat. Justice becomes sharper here because Libra discovers that fairness is not always mutual. Libra can act with integrity and still be treated unfairly. Libra can offer balanced compromise and still be exploited. Libra can speak kindly and still be attacked. This creates a second destabilization that cannot be resolved quickly, because it attacks the core Libra hope that social order can be stabilized through mutual reason. Libra wants to believe people are rational enough to meet it halfway if it is graceful. The Oversoul shows Libra that reason is not the only currency. Power exists. Insecurity exists. Manipulation exists. Projection exists. Some people prefer imbalance because imbalance benefits them. Some people prefer chaos because chaos keeps others confused. Some people prefer your softness because it protects them from their own accountability. This is where Libra must confront a hard truth about its own role. Libra has often been the one who makes imbalance tolerable. Its grace can become a lubricant for dysfunction. Its compromise can become permission for exploitation. Its mediation can become a shield that prevents consequences. The Oversoul forces Libra to see this, not to shame it, but to awaken discernment. Harmony is not always a virtue. Sometimes harmony is the absence of confrontation that would have ended the lie. Libra must learn when balance is healing and when balance is sedation. The beauty vector becomes dangerous here. Libra loves coherence, elegance, order, and aesthetically pleasing interaction. Yet the Oversoul reveals that beauty can be weaponized. A charming person can be cruel. A refined tone can hide manipulation. A peaceful environment can be built on suppression. Libra then realizes it has been using manners as evidence of safety, when manners are sometimes just strategy. This destabilizes Libra's social intelligence because it no longer knows what signals to trust. The soul feels uncertain. It cannot rely on surface harmony as proof. It must learn a deeper diagnostic. Does the relationship allow truth without punishment? Does it allow disagreement without threat? Does it allow boundaries without retaliation? Does it allow both people to remain themselves? Libra will resist this diagnostic because it implies loss. If many relationships fail the test, Libra may have to let them go. Letting go threatens identity because Libra has often known itself through connection. This is why the Oversoul makes Libra face relational grief as part of its curriculum. Without grief, Libra will continue maintaining bonds that are not mutual. With grief, Libra becomes capable of releasing without hatred. Yet grief is messy, and Libra hates mess. Libra prefers clean exits, clean conversations, clean fairness. The Oversoul does not give that. It gives Libra the human reality of attachment breaking unevenly. So the mirror vector evolves into something harsher. Libra begins to see itself not only as a mirror but as a target. Certain people are drawn to Libra because Libra is socially skilled, emotionally aware, and conflict averse. Those traits make Libra easy to steer if it is unanchored. The Oversoul then places Libra in relationships where its generosity is tested by subtle control. Requests that feel small but accumulate. Expectations that appear reasonable but expand. Compliments that carry hooks. Disappointment that is used as leverage. Libra will feel the pull to restore harmony by giving more. That impulse is the old programming. The Oversoul is trying to break it. A listener might object that this is too harsh, that it makes relationships sound like danger. The Oversoul does not claim relationship is danger. It claims relationship is reality, and reality includes power dynamics. Libra cannot become a balancing force if it refuses to see power. When Libra ignores power, it becomes passive. When it sees power clearly, it can choose response. The goal is not suspicion. The goal is accuracy. Libra must learn to detect when it is being invited into mutuality and when it is being recruited into maintenance. Justice now becomes internal enforcement. Not enforcement as punishment, enforcement as consequence. Libra has often been the one who reduces consequences for others. It softens the blow, gives another chance, explains away harm, translates cruelty into misunderstanding. The Oversoul asks Libra to stop translating. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. That sentence feels simple, almost stabilizing, but it becomes destabilizing in practice because Libra is trained to see nuance. Libra sees the wounded child behind bad behavior. Libra sees the stress behind harsh tone. Libra sees the insecurity behind control. Libra wants to heal the root. The Oversoul does not deny that root exists. It denies that roots excuse harm. The soul must learn to hold compassion without granting access. This is the second major invalidation of earlier coherence. Libra may have believed that kindness and clarity together would solve most relational problems. Now it sees that kindness can be exploited and clarity can be punished. The soul might then swing into hardness. It might decide to stop caring, stop negotiating, stop compromising, stop offering beauty. That swing is not integration, it is defense. The Oversoul does not allow Libra to stabilize in defense either. It exposes the cost. Hardness protects the self, but it also starves the heart. Libra is not meant to become cold. Libra is meant to become anchored. Anchoring is different. Anchoring keeps warmth while removing permeability. Anchoring keeps grace while removing submission. The beauty vector becomes refined here into something more severe. Elegance under pressure. Libra must learn to speak hard truth without cruelty, to set boundaries without drama, to end negotiations without hatred. This is difficult because Libra often equates firmness with aggression. The Oversoul teaches that firmness can be calm. Calm firmness is terrifying to manipulative dynamics because it offers no hooks. It does not argue. It does not justify. It does not beg to be understood. It simply states reality and stands by it. Libra feels guilty when it learns this because guilt is the residue of its old role as peacekeeper. The Oversoul allows guilt to persist because guilt reveals where the soul still believes it is responsible for others' feelings. The mirror vector then flips again. Libra realizes that its desire to be understood has been a controlling impulse. It did not look like control. It looked like kindness and communication. Yet the need to be understood can become an attempt to manage perception, and managing perception is still appeasement. Libra must learn to let others have their story. This feels dangerous because stories determine reputation, and reputation affects belonging. The Oversoul forces Libra to realize that belonging built on reputation is fragile. True belonging does not require constant maintenance of image. Another counter voice rises, quieter but more poisonous. If I let people misunderstand me, I will become alone. This fear is the deepest Libra fear, and the Oversoul does not resolve it quickly, because Libra must learn to choose solitude over self-betrayal. That is the first threshold of sovereignty in this tone. When Libra can stand alone without collapsing, it becomes capable of real partnership rather than desperate bonding. But standing alone does not feel noble. It feels raw. It feels like the nervous system is exposed. The Oversoul keeps Libra there long enough to build internal stability. Justice then shifts from fairness to selection. Libra must choose. Not choose as in judge others harshly, but choose as in decide who is worthy of intimacy. Libra has often believed everyone deserves a chance. Everyone deserves understanding. Everyone deserves access. The Oversoul teaches Libra a harder mathematics. Everyone deserves respect. Not everyone deserves access. Respect can be given from a distance. Access requires trust. Trust requires evidence. Evidence takes time. Libra must learn to slow down relational merging, to stop granting emotional intimacy before compatibility is proven. This is an uncomfortable lesson because Libra longs for unity. Yet unity without evidence becomes entanglement. The beauty vector becomes internal again. Libra begins to seek coherence inside itself rather than in the atmosphere. It becomes less obsessed with making the room feel good and more concerned with making the self feel true. That shift changes everything. Libra starts to feel an internal imbalance whenever it speaks against its values. It feels tension when it agrees out of fear. It feels dullness when it performs. The body becomes a moral instrument. This is not mysticism. It is nervous system feedback. When Libra honors truth, the nervous system settles. When Libra betrays truth, the nervous system tightens. This feedback becomes a private compass that does not require external validation. Yet the Oversoul refuses full stabilization, because a new risk appears. Libra might begin to use boundaries as armor and call it integrity. It might withdraw and call it balance. It might stop negotiating and call it self-respect. These can be real, but they can also be reactions. The Oversoul tests this by reintroducing genuine mutuality into Libra's path. A relationship appears where truth is welcomed, disagreement is safe, boundaries are respected, but Libra may not trust it, because it has been trained by imbalance to anticipate hooks. The soul then faces a new challenge. Can it remain open without becoming porous? Can it accept love without returning to appeasement? Can it negotiate without losing itself? The earlier tools are no longer enough. The soul must refine again. This is the unresolved pressure that carries the narrative forward. Libra must now integrate two realities that seem incompatible. Some people punish truth. Some people welcome it. Some dynamics exploit kindness. Some dynamics honor it. Libra cannot become cynical, and it cannot become naive. It must become discerning without becoming closed. That is the true balancing act. Not smoothing atmospheres, but calibrating access. Not mediating every conflict, but choosing where mediation serves life. Not keeping everyone comfortable, but keeping the self coherent so that any harmony created is real. So the Libra tone remains under tension. It is learning to stand in fairness even when fairness is not reciprocated. It is learning to hold grace even when grace is not rewarded. It is learning to value truth more than being liked, yet still refuse cruelty. The Oversoul is shaping a soul that can hold relational equilibrium under pressure, not by forcing balance externally, but by becoming a stable center that does not collapse when the room tilts. The lesson has not ended. It cannot end yet. Because Libra must still answer the most difficult question hidden beneath all its negotiations. If love requires you to disappear, do you still call it love? And if you do not, are you willing to let it go even while your nervous system begs you to keep the peace? If this transmission resonated, the spiral continues. You did not arrive here by chance, and you do not leave unchanged. More teachings are unfolding across the Vaharat library, each one meeting you where you are, not where you think you should be. Follow resonance. The next threshold is already listening.